Hello, here we are live once again. As always, if you're tuning into this when it's no longer live, when it's just a normal YouTube video, look in the description because I'll have a link to how many minutes you need to go to avoid all this waffle and start the actual quiz. So in the meantime, we're going to be live in a few minutes. I'm just going to start spamming the link around the usual places. Feel free to grab a drink or something. We'll probably start in about 5 minutes, I would say. So let me just post a link around a few places. In a few minutes, if you're just tuning in, let me post in the various places. Did that link work? That link did work. Okay. Oh, if you're tuning in, we're going to start in a few minutes. Just spamming the link around the usual places. Where's the event? The event page is up here. Page. G'day, if you're tuning in, we'll be starting in probably 3 minutes or so, I would say. I'm assuming you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay, people who have tuned in? Can you hear me? Yes? No? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Yes, good. Thank you, Josh. So yeah, I'm just spamming the link around all the usual places. Facebook page. Create post. Why don't I have a create post button? Why is that not working? Okay, cool. I don't know why Facebook's being weird. I am cold. Yes. Hey, if you're tuning in, we're going to be starting in probably 2 minutes from now, I would say. I'm just spamming the link around in various places. I don't know why Facebook's being annoying and not giving me a normal sized post button for some reason. That's very annoying. Okay, where else do I need to post it? Just a couple more minutes. Okay, that's now giving me a normal box on Facebook, so that should work if I press that button. Okay, cool. I think that's everywhere now. Palmer's tuning in. That's what I like to see. Okay. So just be a couple more minutes. Can't see me, she says. I'm going to post a thing. Well, I posted the link twice. Click the YouTube link. Good evening, Naomi. All right, let me just get all my questions up. So yeah, for those of you who haven't tuned in before, if you have, my name is James. The way this works is I'm just going to be doing what I would normally be doing on a Tuesday night, which is going to the pub and running a pub trivia night. Can't do that at the moment because all the pubs are closed, so I'm just going to do it online. So it's not a Simone's asking if we got the link going. Yes, the link's here. It's the third time I posted it in that box. Yeah, so it's not really an interactive thing. You're basically playing against yourself, against the quiz, against your friends, whatever you like. So you don't need to be the fastest to type in the chat window or anything like that. G'day, Pierre. You just write down the answers yourself or just keep note of them in your head or whatever. Right, so we'll get started pretty soon. You can comment if you like in the YouTube window, or you can comment on Facebook. If you do want to be informed of future quizzes, go to the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. If you subscribe or like that page, you'll be informed, but it's generally Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Sydney time on YouTube. Okay, so we've got 18 people in. That's pretty good. It says restricted view, says Kim. I never had that before. I don't know why that would be. I've got 19 people viewing, so not sure. Sorry. It says it's 19 people here viewing, so seems okay here. All right. So I assume it's sounding okay and looking okay. Let's get started. Round one. Question one. Okay, which clothing and footwear manufacturer has a logo known simply as the swoosh? Okay, Naomi says she had to open in app. That's what she had to do to view it. So if you can't view me for whatever reason, try opening it in the YouTube app on your phone, I guess. Davy Jones says she can hear us okay. Simone says she can hear us okay. And she's obviously found the link, which is good. Okay. That was question one of round one, was which clothing and footwear manufacturer has a logo known simply as the swoosh? G'day, ads. Nice to see the regulars. All right, number two. Question number two. In their 1986 number one hit, who suggested we walk like an Egyptian? Round one, question two. In their 1986 number one hit, who suggested we walk like an Egyptian? So just a note on format, we're going to have round one is 20, not too difficult, not super easy, but not too difficult questions, and I'll give you the answers. Then we have round two, which is less easy questions, and then I'll give you the answers. And then at the end, we have 10 very difficult / silly type questions at the end. If you get any of those right, then you're doing pretty well. Okay, question three in round one. In humans, which is longer, the large intestine or the small intestine? So question three of round one. In humans, which is longer, the large intestine or the small intestine? I'm drinking Shepherd Neame Double Stout tonight. Delicious it is too, but it's also 5.5% or something. So hopefully I'll be able to keep it together for the rest of the night. Is it cheating if your spouse is a nurse? Yes, in many ways. Question 4. The Dragon's Breath, Trinidad Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper are all varieties of what? Question 4. The Dragon's Breath, Trinidad Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper are all varieties of what? All right, question 5. Which 2 months of the calendar are named after Roman emperors? Question 5. Which 2 months of the calendar are named after Roman emperors? I think you can have half a point for each of those. It's 2 months named after Roman emperors. Question 6. Which musical star was born Robert Zimmerman? Which musical star was born Robert Zimmerman? So if you're just tuning in, we're working our way through round 1, which is the relatively easy round. There's 20 questions. At the end, we'll have the answers, and then we'll start round 2. Question 7, classic trivia question. Which 2 feuding families feature in Romeo and Juliet? Question 7 of round 1. Which 2 feuding families feature in Romeo and Juliet? And again, I guess we'll do half a point each. If you get one, you probably get the other. Somebody's asking, are we on Facebook tonight? No, we're on YouTube. Let me reply to that person directly. We're here. Okay, what are we up to? Question 10, question 8. Question 8 of round 1. What is the address of the UK Prime Minister's residence? Very good. I'll read that out in a sec. Question 8. What is the address of the UK Prime Minister's residence? And from the YouTube comments from Backoz, we have, hey Ag, what's the difference between COVID-19 and Romeo and Juliet? One's a coronavirus and the other is a Verona crisis. Very good. People asking if there's a link. Yes, there's a link. It's always the same place. On the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. Let me post that in that window for the 5th time. Okay. Question 9 of round 1. Which traditional Russian dish consists of sautéed beef served in a sauce made with sour cream? Question 9. Which traditional Russian dish consists of sautéed beef served in a sauce made with sour cream? That feels like it shouldn't be as much of a tongue twister as it is. I'm worried about this beer. All right, question 10. Congo, Sphere, and Jurassic Park are all novels by which author? Question 10 of round 1. Congo, Sphere, and Jurassic Park are all novels by which author? Okay, we're just getting into bad jokes in the comments now. Okay, question 11. What is the longest river in Australia? Question 11. What is the longest river in Australia? What are we up to? Question 12. I think this is based on something from last week. What is the name of Blackadder's foul-smelling sidekick? Question 12. What is the name of Blackadder's foul-smelling sidekick? Question 13 of round 1. Yeah, you can post the answers in the comments, but it's kind of annoying and it doesn't win you any points. Basically playing against yourself. Okay, question 13. What is the nickname of the New Zealand men's national basketball team? If you don't want to see spoilers, you might want to maximize the YouTube window, but generally, please don't post the answers in the comments. Okay. What were we up to? Question 13 was, what was the nickname, or what is the nickname of New Zealand's men's national basketball team? Okay. Let me just do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping. Yes, Tensop. Hi back from Tensop. Hi back from Tensop. That's a message I was asked to pass along. I didn't get the previous Dogecoin, so I don't know why I'm doing that one. All right, stop doing Facebook, stop doing comments. Get back to the questions. All right, question 14. I happened to be checking the ARIA Charts website last night, and it turns out the #1 selling album in Australia in 2019 was titled When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Which artist released that album? So question 14 was the #1 best-selling album in Australia in 2019 was titled When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Which artist released that album? '27 viewing, that's good. What are we up to now? Question 15. How old was Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, when she died? Question 15. How old was Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, when she died? Excuse me. Question 16 of round 1. Benelux, Benelux, is an economic union of 3 European countries. Please name the 3 countries. So question 16, Benelux, Benelux, is an economic union of 3 European countries. Please name the 3 countries. And for that one, you can have 1 point if you get all 3 right. I'm not going to do half points because then we'll end up with 1.5 points and it'll be annoying. There is round 1's relatively easy. It's not super easy, relatively easy. And we're getting towards the end of it. Question 17. Who was the arch enemy of Robin Hood? Question 17. Who was the arch enemy of Robin Hood? So while you think about that one, we see what all these alerts on Facebook are about. Hopefully nothing important. Nope, good. Question 18. True or false? You want an easy question? It's 50-50. True or false? The Great Wall of China is so big it can be seen with the unaided human eye from the moon. Question 18. True or false? The Great Wall of China is so big it can be seen with the unaided human eye from the moon. Is that true or false? Question, I have no idea what's going on in the comments. People are just naming random superheroes now. Question 19. In 1999, who did Time magazine name Person of the Century? Question 19. In 1999, who did Time magazine name their Person of the Century? And question 20, the last question for this round. Okay, yes, Robin Hood. The opposite is Batman Sleeve. Okay, thank you very much. Question 20. According to healthyweight.health.gov.au, is a BMI, which I think is body mass index, is a BMI of 26 considered healthy, overweight, or obese? So there's 3 classifications for BMI. So is a BMI of 26 considered healthy, overweight, or obese? All right, so that's the end of round 1. I'll give you the answers in a couple of minutes. So I'll let you just finalize your answers. I thought it might be cool, actually, if you feel like it, why don't you post in the comments where you're listening in from, or where you're watching in from, I should say. Don't have to be too specific, just a state or nearest major city will do. Backos says he's watching from here. Well, that's spooky. He's in here. All right, we'll do the answers in a sec. Tangambalang, well, that's clearly made up, Jared. Simone is from Muswellbrook. Pierre's from Melb. Davies from near Brizzy. Backos is Mornington. Pierrot says, you see the cat? I'm over there. Oh, you're in the cat head. Hello, cat head. Glen Innes, I've been up that way. Glen Innes, I think I had a van breakdown in Glen Innes once. Might have been Tenterfield. Anyway. Right. Let's go through the answers to round 1. If you're ready. If you're not, tough. And then we'll have round 2 after this. Peter says he's in Melbourne. Cool. All right, so the answers to round 1. Question 1 was, which clothing and footwear manufacturer has a logo known as the swoosh? Ads is in Melbourne. That's cool. Spent a bit of time in Melbourne. Nice. The answer to that question, number 1, is Nike, or Nike. It's considered the most valuable brand logo in the world, valued at $26 billion US. So the swoosh is Nike. And then question 2, who suggested we walk like an Egyptian? That was the Bangles. Number 3, in humans, the small intestine is 6.5 meters long in an average man. The large intestine only about 1.5 meters. The name small and large refers to the diameter, not the length. So the answer of which is longer is the small intestine. Question number 4, the answer, it was Dragon's Breath, Trinidad Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper are all varieties of what? Kind of related to last week. They are chili peppers. I think specifically they're types of habanero, but chili pepper is fine. Question 5, the 2 months named after Roman emperors are July, after Julius Caesar, and August, after Augustus Caesar. Kind of obvious, really. Half a point each, if you got only one of those. Question 6 was, which musical star was born Robert Zimmerman? That was Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. Question 7, which 2 feuding families in Romeo and Juliet? That is the Montagues and the Capulets. Again, half points if you got one. Question 8, what's the address of the UK Prime Minister's residence? That is number 10 Downing Street. Question 9 was, which traditional Russian dish, etc.? That is beef stroganoff. Question 10 was, Congo, Sphere, and Jurassic Park are all novels by which author? That is Michael Crichton. So we're just running through the answers to round 1 at the moment. We'll have round 2 in a sec. Question 11, what is the longest river in Australia? The answer is the Murray River, 2,375 kilometers or so. I think the next biggest is the Murrumbidgee, which is like 1,400 k's. So the Murray is quite a bit longer. Question 12 was, what is the name of Blackadder's foul-smelling sidekick? That is Baldrick. Question 13, what is the name of the New Zealand men's national basketball team? They are the Tall Blacks. It's a play on the rugby team, which is the All Blacks, of course. Most New Zealand's national teams have some kind of play on the All Blacks. And question 13, the answer is the Tall Blacks. Question 14, that album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? That was released by Billie Eilish, whose music I actually don't mind. Question 15, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. She was born 4th of August, 1900. She died the 30th of March, 2002. So she was aged 101. Simon is in Bendigo. Cool. Yeah, so Hitler once described the Queen Mother as the most dangerous woman in Europe. There you go. Question 16, Benelux is an economic union. Which 3 countries? The answer is kind of in the name. It's Benelux. It's Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg. If you got all 3 right, you get a point. Otherwise, fight amongst yourselves. Question 17, who is the arch enemy of Robin Hood? He had a few enemies, but his arch enemy, the constant thorn in his side, was the Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sheriff of Nottingham. Question 18, true or false? Great Wall of China is so big it can be seen with the unaided human eye from the moon. That is false. That would be roughly equivalent to seeing a human hair from a distance of 2 miles. So just out of interest, the reason why people get that question wrong is people think that diagram of the Earth with the moon is what it's really like. But in fact, in terms of Earth diameters away, the moon is about 30 Earth diameters away. So if you had, say, a basketball as the Earth, and the moon's about a quarter the size of the Earth, so maybe a tennis ball, you'd have to have 30 basketballs between this basketball and where you put the tennis ball. So the moon is a long way away from the Earth. Right. So the answer to question 18 is false. Question 19. In 1999, who did Time magazine name Person of the Century? It was, of course, Donald Trump. No, kidding. Wasn't Donald Trump. It was, of course, Albert Einstein, who did actually contribute something to humanity by completely transforming our understanding of the universe. And question 20, according to healthyweight.gov.au, that a BMI of 26 is considered overweight. Healthy is between 18.5 and 25. Overweight is between 25 and 30, and obese is above 30. Right, so how'd you go? Round 1. Let me know in the comments. I'll have a bit of a swig of beer. And I do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping. 12 points from Jared, not too bad. 10.5 from Kat. 13 out of 30 from Backoz. Okay. Backoz heard 10 more questions than everybody else. That's okay. 16 from Peter. Pretty good. Pierre says, I got like 3. Pierre got 15. Naomi says, I got 14.5 and hubby got 15. I like the fact you're playing together but against each other. I like that. Oop. It's a comment. Hello from Wodonga, 11.5 points, says Emma. Cool. 12.5 from Davey. Simone got 17. All right, let's get cracking with round 2. So round 2 is our less easy round. Not super crazy difficult, but more difficult than the first round. So if you got like 3 in the first round, yeah. It's all downhill from here, says Kat. Maybe not. Some people get more in the second round than the first round. Anyway, round 2, question 1. What is the capital city of Syria? Excuse me. What is the capital city of Syria? Syria. Country in the Middle East. Very ancient country. What is the capital city of Syria? Question 2. Which Roald Dahl novel is concerned with the life of a precocious 5.5-year-old neglected by her parents who discovers she has the power of telekinesis? So question 2 of round 2, which Roald Dahl novel is concerned with the life of a precocious 5.5-year-old neglected by her parents who discovers she has the power of telekinesis or psychokinesis? Question 3. One of the conditions you must meet in order to be eligible to become president of the USA is that you must be at least how old? That's a very confusingly worded question. Let's try that again. Question 3, how old must you be before you're allowed to become president of the United States? Question 4, which range of mountains forms the boundary between Europe and Asia? So if you think about Europe and Asia, they sort of form one supercontinent. Russia is a good example. You think of it as a European country, but most of it's actually in Asia. But there is a mountain range that roughly divides that supercontinent into 2. What's the name of that? Well, not into 2 halves, but divides Europe from Asia. What is the name of that mountain range? Is question 4. Question 5. What is the name, beginning with W, given to the device that fastens the scarf worn by scouts? Question 5. What is the name, beginning with W, given to the device that fastens the scarf worn by scouts? So, you know, they have the scout, they have that. It's sort of a woodeny, leathery thing. It's got a name, begins with W. What is it? Pierre says, I was a scout in the past. I've forgotten. Kat, meanwhile, says, oh, yeah. She likes ties. Or she likes scouts. Anyway, or she used to be a scout. Question 6. What was the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie to win 4 Academy Awards? Kat says, I was the first female cub in Wellington, New Zealand. There you go. Question 6 was, what was the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie to win 4 Academy Awards? All right, question 7 in our less easy round 2. Question 7, what name is given to clouds that produce precipitation, be that rain, hail, or snow? Question 7, what name is given to clouds that produce precipitation, be that rain, hail, or snow? I know it's not rain clouds. There's a particular type of cloud. Question 8. Well, I just quickly check the Facebooky stuff. Question 8, beginning with K for Kevin. What is the name of the traditional long sword used by samurai? Question 8, beginning with K for Kevin or Kilo. What is the name of the traditional long sword used by samurai? Simpsons Clouds. We often see Simpsons Clouds and we always go, Simpsons Clouds. Question 9. Which country to the south of Taiwan consists of over 7,000 islands? Question 9. Which country to the south of Taiwan consists of over 7,000 islands? All right, so we're halfway through round 2. If you are just tuning in, the URL you're watching this via on YouTube is currently live, obviously, but when this live broadcast finishes, it just turns into a normal video. So you can just tune in and watch it later. If you missed the earlier rounds, there's like 6 weeks worth of rounds still sitting on YouTube. If you want to watch them later, I can pretend they're live. In the description, I put a timestamp. So it tells you where to jump to miss all the waffle at the beginning and get straight to the questions. Speaking of which, question 10, Sorrow and the Potato Eaters are 2 artworks by which artist? Sorrow and the Potato Eaters are 2 artworks by which artist? Question 11. If a dish is prepared a la Florentine, it almost certainly includes which vegetable? Question 11. If a dish is prepared a la Florentine, it almost certainly includes which vegetable? Question 12. There's a lot of very inappropriate jokes going on in the comments, which I'm not going to read out. Question 12. Insects usually have a body with 3 segments. These are the head, the abdomen, and what? Question 12. Insects usually have a body with 3 segments. These are the head, the abdomen, and what? All right, question 13. Question 13. What was the final battle of the Napoleonic Wars? Question 13. What was the final battle of the Napoleonic Wars? Question 14. Not tonight, Josephine. Home in a week. Don't bathe. Question 14. What weather phenomenon is measured by the Beaufort scale? Beaufort. Question 14. Which weather phenomenon is measured by the Beaufort scale? Might give you a little minute just to think about that while I just check a couple of things on the Facebook page. If you do want to be informed of events in future, go to Facebook and look for Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. You can find the events there and previous videos and stuff. All right, what are we up to? Question 15. Which TV show running from 1984 to 1992 focused on the Huxtable family? Question 15. Which TV show running from 1984 to 1992 focused on the Huxtable family? And question 16, we're getting towards the end of round 2. Again, I'd encourage you to not post the answers into the chat window. You're mostly playing against yourself. Or if you are very concerned about spoilers, maybe maximize the YouTube window in case people don't realize they're not supposed to type them into the comments. What are we up to? Question 16 of round 2. In which North American city would you find the Lions Gate Bridge? So in which North American city would you find the Lions Gate Bridge? Don't know why that sentence had the word find in it twice. Question 16. Yeah, in which North American city would you find the Lionsgate Bridge? Question 17. Who did Hitler marry the day before they both committed suicide in 1945? Question 17. Who did Hitler marry the day before they both committed suicide in 1945? You could probably just say, who did Hitler marry? I think he only got married once. No, it's not Mrs. Hitler. That won't be accepted. Question 18. Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was a follow-up by popular demand of which other successful novel? Question 18. Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was a follow-up by popular demand of which successful novel? Wowzer, that's a specific question, says Pierrot. Which one is he talking about? Don't know. Question 19. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham were collectively known by which name? Yes, there's not much point asking vague questions in trivia. That's true. The golden rule of trivia is that there has to be one definitive answer to the question. Otherwise, it's very annoying. So question 19, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham were collectively known by which name? And question 20, which is the last question for round 2. I'll be giving you the answers in a little while. Question 20 is, how many former US presidents are still alive? I think last week we had how many Australian former prime ministers are still alive? Well, this week it's question 20, how many former US presidents are still alive? So you can have 1 point for the correct number and 1 point if you correctly name all of them. Okay, so that's question 20. How many former US presidents are still alive? 1 point for the correct number and 1 point for correctly naming them all. Okay. If you need any of those repeated or clarified, you can tell me very quickly in the comments. Otherwise, I'll give you the answers in a minute or two. Give you a sec to finalize your answers. I'll do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping, checking my mail, checking this window and that window and various other tubes. Wait, he's streaming on the wrong YouTube account, apparently. Is that true? Don't know. Anyway. Okay. Don't know. Anyway, it seems to be working. We've got 29 people watching. Okay, so let's go through the answers to round 2, and then we'll have our generally quite difficult round 3. So the answers to round 2 are, question 1, what is the capital city of Syria? That is Damascus. It's generally considered the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. So that's Damascus for question 1. Question 2 was, which Roald Dahl novel is concerned with a precocious 5-year-old? That is Matilda. So question 2 was Matilda. Question 3, how old do you need to be president of the US? You must be at least 35 years old, or in some cases, double that. Question 4, which range of mountains forms the boundary between Europe and Asia? That is the Urals, U-R-A-L-S, the Urals. What was the answer to the first question? It says Pierrot. The answer is Damascus, is the capital city of Syria. Question 5 was, what's the name beginning with W given to the device that fastens the scarf worn by scouts? That is a woggle, W-O-G-G-L-E, woggle. Woggle, says Cat. Question 6, what was the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie to win 4 Academy Awards? That was, of course, Terminator 2. Absolutely fantastic movie. Question 7, if you just said Terminator, I don't know, half a point. Pierrot says, I said Womble. presumably to the Scout question, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie question. Question 7, the answer, what name is given to clouds that produce precipitation? They are nimbus clouds. So you have cumulus clouds. If they rain, they become cumulonimbus, etc. It's the word nimbus that's the key thing. If you said anything with nimbus in it, that's fine. But nimbus is the important one. Question 8 was beginning with K. What's the name of the traditional long sword used by samurai? That is a katana, Katana. It's also a type of motorcycle made by Suzuki. Question 9. Which country to the south of Taiwan consists of over 7,000 islands? That is the Philippines. Or just Philippines. Question 10. Sorrow and the Potato Eaters are 2 artworks by Vincent van Gogh. And now that I remember, he was actually the answer to a question last week as well. Question 11. If a dish is prepared a la Florentine, it contains spinach. Spinach is the answer to question 11. Question 12. Insects usually have a body with 3 segments. These are the head, the abdomen, and the thorax. Thorax, kind of the bit in the middle. If you think of an ant, it's got a head, it's got a big bum, it's got a bit in the middle with the legs attached. That's the thorax. Question 13. What was the final battle of the Napoleonic Wars? That was Waterloo. I now have no idea what's going on in the comment. Thor's axe. Didn't Thor have a hammer? Question 14. What weather phenomenon is measured by the Beaufort scale? Excuse me, speaking of which, it is wind speed. So question 14, wind speed is the Beaufort scale. In case you didn't hear, question 13, the answer was Waterloo. Question 15, the TV show that focused on the Huxtable family was The Cosby Show. Somewhat fallen out of favor now, of course, but popular at the time, The Cosby Show. Question 16, in which North American city would you find Lionsgate Bridge? That is in Vancouver, Canada being part of North America. The lions are a pair of mountain peaks north of the city. If you've ever seen the film and the intro, the film company is Lionsgate Entertainment. That's because they were founded in Vancouver. Okay, question 17. Who did Hitler marry? Eva Braun. EVA space BRAUN. Eva Braun. Question 17 was who did Hitler marry? Question 18. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was a follow-up to Tom Sawyer. So the answer to 18 is Tom Sawyer. Question 19, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham were collectively known as Led Zeppelin, of course. And question 20, how many former US presidents are still alive? The answer is 4. I confused myself there. Yes, the answer is 4. And they are Jimmy Carter, Clinton, mental blank. What's Clinton's first name? Anyway, Carter, Clinton, G.W. Bush, and Barack Obama. I keep wanting to say George Clinton, but he's a jazz player. Anyway, yeah, Carter, Clinton, G.W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Bill Clinton, that's the one. So yeah, if you had 4, you get a point. If you had Carter, Clinton, Bush, or G.W. Bush, and Obama, then you get another point. 1 for the number, 1 if you name them all. That is correct, Back Oz. So how did you go in that round? Well, I check a bit of Facebooky stuff. Ha, says Back Oz, 7. That's more than double what you got in the first round. Oh no, it was Pierre who got 3 and 4 in the second. That's all right. 6.5 from Kat. 10 points from Jared. Not too shabby. Okay. So now we're going to have, and we got 14. Have we got 13? Oh, that takes the balance back. Wasn't it the other way around the last round? He says, scrolling up. Oh, he's still ahead by half a point. It's all coming down to the third round in the Bain household. 1 point for the right number, 1 point for all of the names, adds. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You can score it how you like, but that's what I would do. If you start doing half points and stuff for that kind of question, it gets too annoying. All right, Pierre. Shame you got to go. See you later. Okay, round 3. This is our very difficult round. So these are either very obscure or a bit silly or whatever. So if you get any of these right, you're doing pretty well. Okay, so here we go. Round 3. Number 1. Peter got 15.5. Ooh, we are the good little bean. Question 4 weeks ago, someone asked that question. Okay. All right, here we go. Round 3, question 1. Cat food usually contains a particular amino acid to protect the health of the cat's eyes, teeth, hair, and heart. Beginning with T for tomcat, what is the name of this chemical? The chemists among us, it's not a true amino acid, but it is essentially an amino acid. It's described as amino acid most places. Cat food usually contains a particular amino acid to protect the health of the cat's eyes, teeth, hair, and heart. In fact, by law, there is a minimum amount of this chemical in cat food. Beginning with T, what is the name of this chemical? All right, question 2 of our quite difficult third round. Which other country is entirely enclosed within the borders of South Africa? So question 2, which other country is entirely enclosed within the borders of South Africa? So if you ever see a map of Africa, obviously the southern part of Africa is a country called South Africa. Inside that country, there is another country that has land borders in every direction with South Africa. What's the name of that other quite small country? Question 3, in again, a quite difficult third round. Who is the only motor racer to have won world championships on 2 wheels and 4 wheels? Question 3, who's the only motor racer to have won world championships on 2 wheels and 4 wheels? Question 4, which fictional character met his death by plunging with his archenemy into the Reichenbach Falls? Question 4, which fictional character met his death, in inverted commas, by plunging with his archenemy into the Reichenbach Falls? Question 5. In 1995, a rogue trader bankrupted Britain's oldest investment bank with unauthorized speculative trading and was sent to prison. For 1 point each, name the bank and the trader. As soon as you said plunging, I was naming the falls. Okay, good. So in 1995, a rogue trader bankrupted Britain's oldest investment bank with unauthorized speculative trading and was sent to prison. For 1 point each, name the bank and the trader. Question 6. Which product has been produced continuously since 1868 by the McIlhenny family of Avery Island, Louisiana? Question 6. Which product has been produced continuously since 1868 by the McIlhenny family of Avery Island, Louisiana? I can remember this, but not name. That's what we call not remembering it. Question 6 was that one. Question 7 is, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to name 80% of the answers. Question 7. The 5 Dirty Harry movies are Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and what? Question 7. The 5 Dirty Harry movies are Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and what? Speaking of excellent films, I mean The Incident. Okay, you remember when it happened, but you can't remember the names of the people involved. I get you. Dirty Harry 5, Dirtier Harry. No. Question 8. If Prince William ascends the throne, he will become King William the what? Question 8. If Prince William ascends the throne, he will become King William the what? So like, you know, the number after his name, basically. So it's sort of a question of how many previous King Williams were there. All right, question 9. This is from Jared. this question. In the John Wick films, they sometimes refer to him as Baba Yaga or the Boogeyman. But Baba Yaga is an actual character from Russian or Slavic folklore. What form does Baba Yaga normally take? So question 9, this question from Jared. In the John Wick films, some action shooty, Rudy Patootie type films, they sometimes refer to him as Baba Yaga or the Boogeyman. But actually, Baba Yaga is an actual character from Russian or Slavic folklore. What form does Baba Yaga normally take? All right, and question 10 in our traditionally very difficult third round. Martha Stewart dated a famous actor for a while, but ended the relationship after watching his performance in an Oscar-winning role. She said she was unable to dissociate him from the character he plays in the movie, and therefore ended the relationship. Must be a pretty good actor. For 1 point each, who was she dating, and which character caused her concerns? So question 10, Martha Stewart, famous TV cook, housekeeper type person. Not housekeeper, you know what I mean. She does home stuff. Martha Stewart dated a famous actor for a while, but she ended the relationship after watching his performance in an Oscar-winning role. She said she was unable to dissociate him from the character he plays in the movie, and therefore she ended the relationship. For 1 point each, who was she dating, and which character caused her concerns? Right. Yes, she was a famous jail inmate at one point. She did go to jail. Okay, so that was round 3. I'll give you another minute or so. Fair enough, Simone. Or maybe that person is such a great actor that, I don't know. Anyway, fair enough. But you can see that why that's around 3 questions. Fairly obscure. Okay, so let's go through the answers to round 3. Let me just click on that, see what that Facebook thing is. Somebody's commenting. Hi, Stephen. No, who am I today? We normally do that after round 3. So I will do who am I after round 3. People can use it as a tiebreaker or just play along. Okay, so the answer to round 3, the answers. But yeah, it's still just acting, says Simone. Okay. Round 3, question 1. Cat food contains a particular chemical. It is taurine, Taurine. It's also found in Red Bull. In fact, the name taurine comes from the word taurus, meaning bull or ox. Excuse me, because it was originally isolated from ox bile, but it is now synthesized. And cats need it. Question 2, actually humans need it as well, but anyway. Question 2, which other country is entirely enclosed within the borders of South Africa? That is Lesotho, Lesotho. Lesotho. It's quite a small country, but it's an entirely separate country, completely enclosed within South Africa. Question 3, who is the only motor racer to have won world championships on 2 wheels and 4 wheels? So that's world championships. The answer is John Surtees. He was a 7 times world champion in motorcycle Grand Prix racing, and he was also the 1964 Formula One world champion. He was also the first person to win the Senior TT at the Isle of Man 3 years in a row, and I think he was also a Can-Am champion, which is the precursor to NASCAR type stuff. Okay, so the answer to 3 was John Surtees. Question 4, which fictional character met his death by plunging with his arch enemy into the Reichenbach Falls? That was, of course, Sherlock Holmes. And it wasn't really his death. Well, he did die, but there was such a public outcry that Conan Doyle brought him back. Anyway, question 5. So question 4 was Sherlock Holmes. Question 5 was about the Britain's oldest investment bank being bankrupted. So the name of the bank was Barings Bank, Barings Bank. The Queen's personal bank. And the name of the trader was Nick Leeson, Leeson, Nick Leeson. So Barings Bank and Nick Leeson. He apparently is out of jail now, and he's a motivational speaker. I can only assume his speeches are basically, don't do what I did. Anyway, question 6. Which product has been produced continuously since 1868 by the McIlhenny family of Avery Island, Louisiana? That is your friend and mine, Tabasco sauce. Tabasco is a state in Mexico, but Tabasco sauce is not from Mexico. It's from Avery Island, Louisiana, and it's delicious. Question 7. The 5 Dirty Harry movies are Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and The Deadpool, where they're all placing bets on which celebrities are going to die. The Deadpool is the answer to question 7. Jared Palmer says, didn't the books have something along the lines of them being time travelers? I think you may be thinking of Doctor Who. Don't know, I don't remember that. But Conan Doyle certainly had a lot of mystic stuff that he preferred to write about, but he was sort of cursed by the popularity of Sherlock Holmes, so he had to keep writing it. No Dirty Harry rides again. No. No Dirty Harry 5, the Dirty Harrying. Question 8. If Prince William ascends the throne, he will become King William the Fifth. William IV was King of the United Kingdom from 1830 until his death in 1837. So Prince William will become King William IV, unless he decides to change his name to a different name when he becomes king, which is entirely possible, happens fairly often. Question 9. This question is from Jared. In the John Wick films, he's called Baba Yaga or the Boogeyman, but they got it a bit wrong because the Boogeyman is not Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga normally takes the form of an old woman or a witch. I assume Baba is from same as babushka, which means grandmother in Russian. So yes, answer to question 9 is an old woman or a witch. And question 10, Martha Stewart dated a famous actor but got freaked out by his Oscar-winning performance. She was dating Anthony Hopkins, and his performance was Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. So 1 point for Anthony Hopkins, 1 point for Hannibal Lecter. That's the end of round 3. How did you go in that round? Let me know. Well, people are chatting about things that are not related to this, so that's good. 3 points, baby. That's pretty good. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this and you want to be informed about more in the future, go to the Facebook page. Pierrot got 5 right. So you got 3 in the first round, 4 in the second round, and 5 in the third round. That's not how it's meant to work. 1, says Simone. 2, says Jared and Davey and Simon. All right, yeah. So if you want to be informed about more in the future, go to the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. Naomi says, I got 6, hubby got 7. Darn it, all to heck. Okay, well, we'll have the last thing of the night is our Who Am I question. So if you are in a tiebreaker situation, unlike the Bain household, unless I make this question worth 5 points, maybe. So if you're in a tiebreaker situation, or if you just want to play along, that's fine. I'm going to read out some clues about a person. If you think you know the answer, you can shout out the answer in your living room or have a go at saying the right thing. If you are in a tiebreaker situation, you only get one shot at it. So if you nominate a person, an answer, and you're wrong, then you're out. The other person wins. So you want to beat the other person, but you've got to be confident of your answer. That's the trick with these. Okay, so here we go. Here's our Who Am I question, the last question of the night. Who am I? I was born in Modena, Italy in 1935, the son of a baker and a cigar factory worker. My family was poor, with 4 people crammed into a 2-room apartment. World War II forced us from the city in 1943, and for the following year, we rented a single room from a farmer in the nearby countryside, where I developed an interest in farming. My first passion was football, and once I graduated from high school, I wanted to pursue a career as a professional goalkeeper, but my mother convinced me to train as a teacher. I taught for 2 years, but gradually my interest in music began to take hold. I would watch Mario Lanza movies, then go home and imitate him in the mirror. I began to study music more seriously in 1954, and I experienced my first success as a member of a choir which won first prize at an Eisteddfod in Wales. During my years of musical study, I held various part-time jobs to sustain myself. My first big breakthrough was in 1963 when Dame Joan Sutherland took me on her tour to Australia. I went on to great success, winning 7 Grammy Awards for my solo work and as part of the Three Tenors. I am perhaps best known for my powerful performances of Nessun Dorma, although I have sold over 100 million records, including the first Three Tenors recording, which is still one of the best-selling classical albums of all time. I am, of course, Luciano Pavarotti. So I hope you got that. I hope that settled any ties that were out there. So that was fun. Thanks for that. Yep, probably same time next week, I would think. Peter replies, Pav. Got it right. Damn it, we said it at the same time. Oh no, you have to settle it with a thumb war or a cage fight with pointy sticks or something. So yeah, usual housekeeping. If you want to be informed of future quizzes, then go to Virtualize Your Pub quiz on Facebook. If you don't like Facebook, that's fine. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't want to do any of that, that's also fine. Just be around on 7:30 on a Tuesday night, and generally that's when I'm going to do it. So I hope you had fun, and I hope the whole COVID thing isn't getting you down too much. And yeah, see you around next week, if not before. Bye.